Hello, this is Dorothy Smith. I'm a close to my heart independent consultant. And if you follow me, I have said, I don't know if it's a month and a half ago or so, that I was going to do a reorganization of my office. And I posted on Facebook some pretty awful pictures of what my office looked like. So this is generally how I am now. I've redone a few things. Let me just start over here. So down at the bottom, I purchased from IKEA, I think it's a Calyx or a Alex or anyway, I got this long one down here that I put some of the Stampin' Storage boxes in, just because I really like the way you can see what you've got immediately as far as colors. And I was going to sell all of my discontinued cardstock, but I decided to keep it for when I have crops at my house, and then people who are working on older papers can still get some of the old cardstock to go with their paper. So I've kind of organized it according to the, like the basic colors and, how they used to have it in the Adventure and Whimsy anyway. And then over here is the Calyx that I've had for a while that also has the Stampin' Storage boxes in it. And these are all the current papers in the order that they appear in the catalog. So it's very easy to find what you need. And I have them labeled according to color. So these are some older colors, older labels that I enlarged from the catalog and stuck them onto the little pull-out thing. So they used to be big dots, which I really, really liked, and then they went to this big blob of color with the skinnier lettering, which I really liked this bigger lettering, but you got to go with the flow, right? So I really like that. And then I've got my Workshop Wonders. I've got four trays here for cardstock. So this is my new Cricut maker up here. And this was like a little $10 or $12 stand I got from Walmart or Target just to hold several layers of stuff and raise the Cricut maker up. But anyway, I've got all the white cardstock I need and black cardstock that I need for Cricut. And then hiding behind the TV is my Cricut mats on a 3M hook. And there's my Cricut maker. Okay, so what I decided to do with my embellishments, I used to have the iris boxes, one that said embellishments with sparkles and embellishments without sparkles. And what I've done is I've gotten these nice little boxes from the Container Store. And I have sorted all of my embellishments into reds, pinks, and purples, blacks and grays, blues and greens, whites and clears, and then metals and gold and bronze. And so now I can, if I know what color I'm looking for, I can go directly and pull out, and I'm not going through an entire stash of stuff that was just a mess. I couldn't find anything. And now I've got a better chance at it. Don't look at that. Everybody needs a junk drawer. Okay, so behind here, I have some of my older inks. Like I said, I decided to keep some of the older colors. I've got a stash of some albums that have been done and then some albums that are waiting to be filled. So, and here I've got my carousel of all of the current inks. So, and this whole setup here is from the Container Store, and it's their Alpha shelving, which I adore Alpha shelving. So once again, I've got, the Workshop Wonders here, and I've got, I started pulling out ribbons from who knows where, and I had to buy a couple of more of the ribbon holders to put ribbons I kept on finding. It's amazing how you can stash stuff all over the place. I have some of I love these mini boxes from Close to My Heart. I just love them. They're for the M stamps, but I use them, so I'm using it for the washi and for some of the twine there, and the baker's twine. And then they're perfect for my rather large collection of glitter tape. So I've sorted the colors more in my glitter tape. So I've got greens and reds. So I've done a better job of sorting. Okay, so up here, these are the 3-drawer stackable shelving things that Janine Warrow, my upline, loves. And I've had these, I have to tell you, these were completely full, and I've got 5, so 15 drawers were filled with kits from years ago, like parts of kits that were I completed the main pages, but then didn't do anything with all of the extra pages. We used to get so much paper in our kits. It was like you couldn't use it all. And so now I am going to do this thing where I've got January and February, all the paper that I've used in January and February, and then March and April, May, June, all through November, December. And so that's how I'm going to sort things. And then as I use them, at the end of the year, then I will remove them from here, and I'll show you where I'll put those. And then I've got the rest of these. I have, a couple of things in here for specific projects that I'm working on. Like Jim, my husband, is building a plane. And so I have stuff in here for making a scrapbook of him building a plane in our garage. And then I have over here, I've got papers for traveling and extra guides and Cricut cuts, because, you don't ever make just one Cricut cut. You make like a whole page of them, and then you stash them away for who knows what. And here's a little bunny, a decoupage bunny that I made from Close to My Heart paper. Well, this was Close to My Heart paper as the cardstock got thicker, not cardstock, but the B&T papers got thicker and thicker. And so my little lady bunny was, it was hard to decoupage, but I keep her around. I like her. But I'm going to make her a little man bunny as opposed to a man bun. And I found one of my favorite papers, which was called Miracle. And this was when our papers were much thinner, and they used to be, instead of being actually two-sided, they were two-sided, but it was the same design in kind of a monochrome on the other side. So this is much thinner paper, and I think it's going to be much easier to decoupage him with. Okay. Stuff. My Brother P-Touch label maker, which I've been using like a crazy person. And then we come around, so here's where I sit to do all of my computer work. And then my printer is over here. And up here on my other Alpha shelves, I've got boxes of stamps. And I've gone through, for a couple of weeks now, I've been going through and reorganizing them so that it's in my head, my way. So here's like for scrapbooking. Here's butterflies and flowers and Christmas. other holidays other than Christmas with seasons in nature. And then this one hasn't gone in there yet. He will soon. Calendars and planners and autumn stamps, celebration and inspiration. And then I have boxes of stamps of the month, which that's not really a good way of organizing them unless somebody's looking for a particular stamp of the month. And if you need a stamp of the month from 2016 on, I can put my hands on it. And then because of all of the stamp and thin cut sets now, which are so wonderful, I'm starting to make stamps and thin cut sets for cards. And then I have, stamps that are good for vacations and stamps that are good for cards, alphabet, more stamps for scrapping, and then puns and pets, cute animals, and florals with sentiments. So those puns, the pun sets are great for Valentine's for your kids. And then I have stamps related to Jim and Philip. So I have plain stamps in here and football stamps and anything that would relate to my husband and my son. And then some of my favorites, ink blots, splashes, brush strokes, and flares. So they're all there. So now I have things that are organized according to my brain, which, we won't even talk about that. Up here I've got albums that are waiting to be, to be put into real scrapbook pages and taken out of those albums. I got work to do. And then I've got some extra, I have a whole box of stamps where I've had 2 and 3 of the same stamp. So those can get sold. And then some more M-stamp mini boxes to hold petite perks for those of you who are consultants, and the various M-stamps, which those are the just little bitty stamps that are absolutely wonderful. And then other stuff. Okay, so all of the stuff that was in the 3-drawer shelves that drawers that I was showing you, and I left this out on top because this is from Cropper Hopper. And this is the frame on wheels, and they have 12 by 12, slightly bigger, hanging file folders. So what I did was I took everything out of my 3-drawer stackables and put them into this in alphabetical order. And so now when you look here, you can find, you say, oh, you know what I needed, what I really liked was that old Wings paper that was really good for older pictures. And I can go back and find Wings and how much paper I have left over of it. And it may be weird to, normally I would put these labels on a diagonal, but let me tell you why I didn't. Because when I started, I originally started doing it, and then I thought, well, when I run out of that paper, then everything gets wonky looking. And so if you put them just in a row, number one, you can go through them real easily to find go through the alphabet. But then you don't have labels all over the place. And so this way it stays neat looking. And to say that these things are heavy is an understatement. I have a lot of paper that is getting stored under here. And I have two of these. I can't even tell you how happy I am with this setup. Instead of, they were completely unusable in the other, just using the 3-drawer system. These were all stacked up in giant chunks, and it was unusable. It was impossible to find anything. So this is going to be really good. So if the ladies come over and they're working on older papers once again, then they can go through here to see if I've got anything to help them out. This is a soldering gun. And what I need to do, I have cut a bunch of the buttons off of the stamp envelopes. But I tried it yesterday. For one thing, they fly all over the room. And I'm going to try to melt them with soldering. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Anyway, we're coming to a close here. And let me just move my light around so you can see into... I hesitate showing you my closet, but we're being fully truthful here. Okay, so this is where I had the 4-hole calyx with all of my cardstock. So I made my cardstock more available. This is another IKEA thing that I am using for like old order forms and some cutout, laser cut items, some other weird stuff that I've got, and a bazillion stamps that are eventually going to go for sale when I have a garage sale, a scrapbook garage sale. But this will be so easy because I'll just pull out the drawers and put them on the table and people can go through them. I have all of my old stuff. So here's like pigment inks and daubers and buttons, more pigment inks, buttons and brads, small ribbons from way back in the day. And I got these nice little boxes at probably Costco in a set of 15. So they were pretty inexpensive, but they're really perfectly sized to hold our cards and envelopes, the value packs, which I go through great quantities. I do a large order of Tombow. I have more albums up here. Here's some of the old alphabet stamps when we used to stamp instead of Cricut and die cut. And now I have a whole bunch of empty iris boxes. But I do keep my page protectors in iris boxes, my flip-flaps in iris boxes, any pocket scrapbooking page protectors, pages and page protectors. All of those are in iris boxes, and they work out great for that. And then the medium container, I don't think we carry these anymore, but wonderful size for old re-inkers. And they're all labeled there. You can't really tell, and I am shorthanded here. Anyway, it's all available. And here are all pages that I've completed. Some of them need pictures, and they say that, and some of them are completed and just need to go into albums. So, that's kind of it for right now. If I can think of something else to show you, or if you have any questions, pose them to me. I'm going to put this on YouTube, and I hope you like it. I hope you if you get any ideas, that's wonderful. This is just the calendar that I made. I probably actually need to flip it because it's January. Of course I needed to flip it because it just so happens today is Valentine's Day. So this is a little one of those things that I made and put really cute pictures. We went down to Ennis for the Bluebonnet Festival in Texas and visited horses and bluebonnets and took pictures of my boys. And so there's my Happy Valentine's Day. So anyway, y'all take care. This is Dorothy Smith signing out. Thank you. Bye-bye. Here I am. Bye-bye.